All right, I think that's everything. Thank you for calling this in. And do I understand correctly, just to summarize, that you were attacked by a creature which you describe as an alien, and you were able to defeat it in a most unconventional manner, and you have now called the authorities to report not only this occurrence, but the existence of alien life? Well, the bad news is that you will not remember that for very much longer. The good news is that I am about to invite you to apply to the Men in Black. You are probably wondering what you are doing here. That is quite reasonable. That is because your recent memory has been replaced with an innocuous one about you cleaning the toilets. Bad news, when you get back, you will still need to clean your toilets. They are quite dirty. However, you are now in MIB headquarters, Men in Black. I myself do not always wear black. I'm somewhat of an iconoclast. However, you should know that we are a special organization. We defend the Earth from alien incursions. Yes, like the movies. Yes, like the Marvel movies with the aliens and Thanos and such. No, most of the aliens do not have a gem-ridden stone in their hand. However, they usually do have some sort of device or weapon or ship or power source or something that will destroy the Earth. And what I have brought you here today to determine is if you would be a good applicant to join the Men in Black. Now, you should know that the alien that you did defeat is known as a Zarxon. Now, Zarxon is, along with being a multi-legged creature, as you found out much to your detriment, is also a multi-dimensional creature. It exists in at least 4 different dimensions that we humans are not able to perceive, and that allows it to shunt itself from one dimension to the other, which in effect allows it to teleport short distances as it moves slightly more from one dimension to the other. That's correct. And you, if I understand correctly, took a microphone stand, which you were using to try and get your singing career up and going, and you were able to figure out the pattern that it was teleporting in. As you correctly surmised, even though it is able to teleport from one place to the other, it has to do so in a manner that is consistent with the conservation of the different dimensions that it is teleporting into. And by figuring out that pattern, you were able to move that pole up, teleport right into the pole, and therefore defeat it. This creature was actually what killed my former partner. And while I am very upset about that, you can see how very upset I am. I am therefore in need of a new partner. Well, it's a fair question. How can there be aliens and not everyone know about it? It is the work of people like us, the Men in Black. That is simply a term, by the way. We do have many women on our staff. We use these devices. These devices are able to remove the recent memory of people. And when I say recent, we normally have it set for the last few hours. However, on extreme cases, we can set it for days, months, and on rare occasions, even years. However, most of the time, all it takes is a quick little flash to protect ourselves. We have special glasses that we wear that protect us from the flash. Otherwise, we may ourselves be affected by this memory device. Now, what I need to find out from you is if you have what it takes to join the Men in Black. Normally, what this would entail is a series of tests that you would undergo to see if you have the physical, mental, and if I may even say spiritual stamina for this job. It is a very hard job. It requires a lot of difficult decisions, and many times the world is at stake. However, we're going to do something a little different for you. Since you were so successful in taking down this particular alien, I'm going to work with you and see if you can suggest a way to stop this particular invasion. What we believe is going to happen is in the next 24 hours, the Zarxon Armada is going to surround the entire Earth. They are going to use their innate shifting power to power their various drives. They are going to shift the entire Earth out of its orbit and into their solar system. They are interstellar robbers. What they will then do is, at their leisure, they will loot the Earth of all of its resources. They will take everything that they desire from this Earth. They will take the humans as a slave population. When they were done, they will simply teleport to the Earth to an empty place in deep space and leave it to drift, a shell of its former self. That's right. You and I have 24 hours to save the world. What do you think? You have a good point. Just as they naturally have the ability to teleport, their engines must also follow certain rules. That does stand to reason that therefore they would have to initiate this sequence in a very particular pattern in order for it to work. So you are correct. If we were able to disrupt this in a key location, we would be able to stop them from doing so. I agree with this assessment. However, that would not stop them from simply coming back again and attempting it again, perhaps with an even larger force that would be more difficult to stop. Good, good. I like the way that you're thinking. If we were able to get on their ship, and if we were able to reprogram their ships, we could actually make their ships teleport back to their homeworld and then teleport their homeworld to deep space. Now, some of them might survive, but the rest of them would die in space because within several minutes the atmosphere would freeze and collapse in on itself, and the homeworld itself would be destroyed. Now, this is an extreme solution. Essentially, we are talking about the genocide of a planet. However, they are looking at destroying the entire Earth. And what's more, once they are done with us, they will move to the next planet with sentient life and begin to destroy it as well. Question: how do you plan on getting aboard the ship? That's a good point. Even though the one that you killed is now obviously dead, it is a physical power that it had. Its innate body had the ability to shift. If we are able to tease out that ability with our scientists, we may be able to cause it to initiate a shift and teleport us to the ship. Now, that is much further than the average one has the ability to do. However, if we ramp up its power, just as their engines will ramp up the teleportation power, we may be able to do a one-way teleport. But here's the thing, once we're on board, how do we get them to reprogram the ship? Very good idea. If we reprogram our sensors instead of forgetting, if we can use them to reprogram someone's memory, if we cause them to forget and then have them remember the sequence, they would actually put in the sequence that we want. And that would allow us to let them do the work for us. Now, it would be very delicate because we would have to do so in a way that would then replicate through the rest of the ships. We'd have to see if our scientists could come up with a code to do so. It would be very, very dangerous. They are a terrifying foe, as you were able to defeat one, but imagine 3 or 4 teleporting at you simultaneously and with murderous intent. Just as you put the stand through that one, they can do the same thing to you with their weapons. So, are you willing to do this? All right, then I need you to get suited up, and I need you to help me save the human race. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to remove your memory. Just kidding. I will instead implant a memory that this was the best ASMR video that you have ever seen. If afterwards you are so inclined because you love it so much, you can subscribe to Roleplay Riot, or you can go to my Patreon and support me on there to help me make more videos like this. Or you can watch another video. And if you don't care for my videos, I can always erase your memory and make you remember watching something else.